Hey, what's up, Charles? What's up, T-Shirt Millionaires fam? Um, I wanted to post a video because the other day I was on a live stream group Zoom with Charles and a bunch of other people, and I sent Charles a message, and he responded back, and we talked a little bit, and it came to me. I realized I said, "Wow, we all have a taste of who he is and what his personality is like, and who he is as a man." And we don't have that same experience with each other because he posts all these videos, and his personality and who he is kind of comes through in that, but we don't have that same ability with each other, and he doesn't even have that ability with us. So unless you do like the one-on-one live coaching with him, and he gets to know you a little bit, or somebody else gets to know you, we don't know each other like that. So I thought it would be cool to see videos that people post to talk about who they are and why they got into the t-shirt business, things like that, rather than just typing a post. um, but the other reason is I really wanted to talk about my organization. So first and foremost, my name is Damian DePauw, and I have a clothing company. It's called City on the Hill Clothing Company, right here. And we do Christian messaging. I've seen that there's a lot of that. There's a lot of people in the same niche, I guess you could say. We do Christian messages, Bible scriptures, and Christian based designs on shirts and hats. I do shirts, hats, hoodies, sweatshirts. I've done blankets. I've done aprons, but that's more custom stuff that I've done for other people for their businesses. Barbers and whatnot will hit me up for an apron or something like that, custom apron. Anyway, City on the Hill Clothing Company is my brand, my company that I started with my wife, and we also have Level Up Clothing Company, which is another brand under the same umbrella of the business. And Level Up Clothing Company is more hip hop oriented, streetwear, more edgy. You know, um, that's really my style, and I am a Christian, but and I think it's important to share your beliefs and your experience with God, whether it be Christianity or something else. But so that's part of why I started City on the Hill Clothing Company. But there's a lot of designs and a lot of things that I like that I'm like, oh, I got an idea for this kind of shirt, and I want to make um, that shirt, and I didn't have. It's not necessarily a Christian shirt. So I said, well, I need something else. I need at least two brands. I need, the Christian thing. I want to put God first. I want to stay rocking with that, but I need something else that I can, another outlet for some of my creativity and some of my sense of style and some of the things that I want to do, for things that I would wear and so on and so forth. So those are my clothing brands. If you want to check it out, hit up cityonthehillclothing.com and levelupclothingcompany.com. Both URLs will take you to the same website, and then I have, underneath the menu, you just choose which brand and what you want to look at from those brands. Um, so at any rate, what I wanted to get on and talk about is my organization. So the t-shirts and the clothing thing is a side hustle for me. It's something that I'm doing with my wife. She's a stay-at-home mom. She takes care of our 3-year-old daughter, and I have another one on the way. So it's at least going to be another 3 years or so before she can really go back to work. Um, so we started the clothing business as something that we can do from our home, to provide extra income, because it's a struggle with me being the only one that provides income. Um, and what I do, I don't make a ton of money. So, and that's what I'm here to talk about. So, I've worked in the nonprofit business for many, many years, for over 20 years. I'm 42 years old. I got into it when I was like 19, 20. I had my first job working with people who have mental health diagnoses. Um, so uh, I saw on here that Charles dedicates, I think it's $1 for every membership um, in the inner circle to a nonprofit. So I'm here to talk to you about my nonprofit and see if people want to vote to dedicate a donation to my nonprofit. So I have worked with people with mental illness as an advocate and a counselor. I've worked with troubled youth that were in danger of being taken out of the home and sent to juvenile detention centers or foster care. Um, I've worked with men and women returning home from prison and helping them get on their feet and find jobs and so on and so forth. So I've done a few different things. Not, I'm not a social worker, but I have certifications as a certified peer counselor and advocate for working with people with mental illness and substance use disorders. And I got that because of my own experience being a knucklehead, running the streets, getting in trouble. I got locked up and did some time in prison. Had my own addictions and was diagnosed with a mental health diagnosis. And I found God and started doing much better, got on my feet, and decided that I wanted to help other people in tough situations. I'm from Newburgh, New York. And for those of you who aren't familiar, Newburgh is a pretty rough city. It's beautiful. I love it here. There's beautiful people. There's a lot of beauty, but there's a lot of ugly too. And Newburgh, for many years running, ranked in the top 10 dangerous cities in the United States to live in. Little, town about an hour and a half north of New York City is Newburgh, New York. We only have about 30,000 people who live in the city. There's also the town in Newburgh, so there's more people who live over there. But at any rate, there's a lot of drugs, there's a lot of poverty, there's gangs, there's, prostitution, teenage pregnancy rates at one time were really bad here. I'm not sure if that statistic is still really bad, but there's a lot of challenges. It's hood. There's urban blight, there's deteriorated buildings and graffiti and trash on the streets, and there's a variety of issues here that I got caught up in early on in life. And after I became an adult and I accepted God into my life and I started to walk down the right road, I decided I wanted to work to try to combat some of those problems and make a difference in the community. So I worked in the nonprofit field for over 20 years, mainly as a substance use counselor and as a mental health advocate and counselor. Um, so about, to make a long story short, I did a lot of other things outside of my professional work because I was passionate about community, a sense of community, and doing things to try to help people right here where I live because there are so many problems here. So I rocked with a group called We Are Newburgh for a while. And the cool thing about We Are Newburgh is they're just a group of volunteers. They have no official nonprofit status, no corporate status. It's not a business. They have no articles of incorporation or anything like that. But they're just people who come together to try to have a positive effect on other people living in the city. And they meet once a week and they say, okay, what do we want to do next? Okay, and they'll plan a project and everybody talks. Okay, boom, this is what we're going to do. You're going, I need you to do this, you do that. I'll take care of this, and we'll all come together. And they've done a variety of things in the community, and for a long time, I did a lot with them, and I'm still a part of them, and I still help them out with a lot of different things. But it was through that kind of made me say, man, I want to do more. When you're working with people with mental illness, you kind of say, what is going on? Okay, there's problems in the home, you're in an abusive relationship, you have a job that you can't make enough money to provide for your family, you live in an unsafe neighborhood, you have an addiction, there's all these different things. And to try to help someone make real progress in their life, you can't focus on only one thing. So there's people who have a mental illness and they go see a psychiatrist and they get a prescription and they take that pill and they think that that pill is going to solve their problems. Well, if the reason you're depressed to begin with is because you have an abusive relationship and you live in an unsafe environment and you have a lousy job where you're not making enough money and so on and so forth, that pill is not going to change any of that. And it's chances are it's not going to make you feel any better. Um, so I learned that in working as a peer advocate and counselor, and the experience that I had is that people have so many different issues. I said, how can I help people more? How can I, help everybody with everything, with every kind of problem they may have? And the obvious answer that came to me is, I can't. I'm not an expert in, you know, if you if you get diagnosed with some disease or something like that. I'm not a doctor. I can't help you with that. I know nothing about that. But there's somebody out there who can. And I believe that everybody has inherent good in them. And given the right circumstances, you will see that good come out and you will see that the true colors of that person shine. And you'll see them want to make a difference if the opportunity presents itself to them. Some people seek it more than others. Some people are like, yeah, whatever, I don't care, I've been through enough. But if you provide that opportunity, you'll see that goodness come out. I think it was Nelson Mandela said, um, love comes more naturally to people than hate, and I believe in that. So anyway, from doing my volunteer work and having so many people come up and say, yo, this is something I support, this is beautiful, I love this, what can I do? Put me to work. You want me to give out water at the event? You want me to mentor a kid? You want me to, I support what you're doing, how can I help? There were so many people who came forward and said that it inspired me to quit my job where I was working as a program manager for substance use support and outreach program. I was running the show and I was, doing okay financially. You never get rich working in the nonprofit field, but that wasn't the point. So at any rate, I left that and I said, I want to start my own organization based on volunteerism. What I want to do is I want to help average, ordinary people make a difference in their immediate community in whatever way resonates with them. So the answer that came to me is I can't help everybody, but there's somebody out there who can. Okay? And if I can inspire other people to help other people in ways that I don't even know how, that I have no idea about, then the amount of good that was created because of the impetus that I put forward is beyond something I even imagined. You know what I mean? People might help other people in ways that I could never even imagine, things I know nothing about. So I started Impact Incorporated, individuals making positive advancements in their communities together, Incorporated, Impact Inc., to address localized community needs in a variety of ways by utilizing the volunteer power of average, ordinary citizens who have gone through similar experiences or have been affected by a certain problem and want to do something to help. And what we specialize in doing is working with that individual, number one, to identify what their passions are and what they want to make a difference about. And then number two, to realize what their skills and abilities are and how those skills and abilities and talents and passions can be channeled toward how they want to make a difference in their community. In some cases, we link volunteers with other nonprofits, and they'll rock with them, and they're gonna provide some service to that nonprofit to help with that cause because it resonates with that individual. In some cases, we have started a certain number of programs ourselves that we do in-house at Impact Incorporated. Um, and in some cases, I offer fiscal sponsorship to grassroots groups who are doing something important in the community, but don't have the time or the knowledge to be able to start their own nonprofit and file all the taxes and file all the paperwork with the Department of State and become a legalized business as a nonprofit. So what I do is I help them with fiscal sponsorship, and I let so that they can have boots on the ground and continue doing the good work that they do. But now they can accept grants and they have nonprofit status and so on and so forth under the umbrella of my organization. Um, so that in a nutshell is what we do. And I wanted to post a video just to talk about, my day job and how that is what I'm most passionate about. When I pass away one day, I don't think God is going to look at me and say, how much money did you make? I think he's going to say, uh, what kind of impact did you have while you were down there? What kind of difference did you make? With the skills and abilities that I gave you, how did you use that to make a difference for the people that were around you? And that's what I believe in. I've been pursuing it ever since. I started Impact Incorporated about 3 years ago, and we've grown since then, but it still is hard to support myself financially, just on the amount of grants that we have coming in and so on and so forth. We're still a small organization. We're still growing. So the T-shirt thing and the clothing business is something I do with my wife on the side so we can try and get by. But at any rate, I would love it if you guys could nominate me or vote for me. I'm not sure how this is done, but for a donation to come from T-Shirt Millionaires, to support my organization. To learn more about what we do at Impact Incorporated and the kinds of programs that we run to try to increase volunteerism and good within the community that we serve, which is currently Newburgh, New York, and some surrounding areas. Check out our website, man. We didn't have a ton of money when I started. We still don't, but at any rate, we couldn't afford the .org. So our website is www.impactyourworld.co, like .com without the M. So I had to do that instead of .org because somebody owned .org and they wanted like 10 grand. I was like, nah, I'm not doing it. So anyway, www.impactyourworld.co, and check it out. If you guys, kind of like what we're doing, I would appreciate the support, and I'd love to hear from other people in this group via video, so I can see what you're about and hear you talk and get an idea who you are. All right, y'all. Peace. I'm Damian, and it was great talking to you.